Under the bright lights of Nottingham Arena, the atmosphere felt electric long before the opening bell. Thousands of fans filled every corner of the venue, their voices creating a thunderous wall of sound as two world-class fighters prepared to risk everything. On one side stood Carl Froch, the undefeated WBC super middleweight champion and hometown hero. Known as the Cobra, Froch had built his reputation on toughness, relentless pressure, and an unbreakable will. Across the ring stood Jermain Taylor, the former undisputed middleweight champion whose speed, power, and technical brilliance had once made him one of boxing's most feared names. For Taylor, this fight represented a chance to prove he still belonged among the sport's elite. For Froch, it was an opportunity to show that his championship reign was only beginning. As the referee delivered his final instructions and the fighters touched gloves, the tension inside the arena became almost unbearable. When the bell finally rang, both men wasted no time establishing their intentions. Taylor looked sharp immediately, snapping out a crisp jab and firing powerful right hands that forced Froch to respect his speed. The American seemed calm and composed, controlling the distance and finding openings with remarkable precision. Froch answered with constant pressure, stalking forward behind his jab and searching for opportunities to land his own right hand. The opening rounds became a fascinating battle of styles, with Taylor relying on timing and accuracy while Froch attempted to impose his physical presence. Then, in the third round, the fight exploded into life. Taylor found the opening he had been searching for and unleashed a devastating right hand that landed cleanly. Froch staggered backward, clearly hurt. Sensing his opportunity, Taylor attacked with ferocious intent. Another crushing combination landed, and suddenly the undefeated champion crashed to the canvas for the first knockdown of his professional career. The crowd gasped in disbelief as Taylor stood confidently, knowing he had dramatically changed the course of the fight.
Despite suffering the first knockdown of his career, Carl Froch refused to let the fight slip away. He rose from the canvas and survived the remainder of the round, even as Jermain Taylor continued launching dangerous combinations. As the fight moved into the middle rounds, Taylor appeared to be in complete control. His jab was sharp, his defense disciplined, and his right hand repeatedly found its mark. Many ringside observers believed the former champion was steadily building an insurmountable lead on the scorecards. Yet beneath the surface, a different story was beginning to unfold. Froch never stopped advancing. Round after round, he continued pressing forward, forcing Taylor to work for every second of success. Slowly, the champion's jab became more effective, and his relentless pressure started draining energy from the challenger. By the championship rounds, signs of fatigue were becoming impossible to ignore. Taylor was still landing quality shots, but his movement had slowed, and his reactions were no longer as sharp as they had been earlier in the fight. Froch sensed the momentum shifting. With every passing minute, his confidence grew, while Taylor's reserves were being pushed to their limits. Then came the dramatic final round. Knowing he likely needed something special, Froch charged forward with urgency. A powerful right hand suddenly staggered Taylor and sent shockwaves through the arena. The crowd erupted as Froch poured on the pressure. Taylor backed toward the ropes, trying desperately to survive. Another right hand landed, then another. The former champion was visibly exhausted and struggling to defend himself. With only seconds remaining, Froch unleashed a furious barrage of punches that finally overwhelmed Taylor. A crushing shot sent him to the canvas, and although he bravely rose to his feet, the referee could see the damage had accumulated. Moments later, the contest was stopped. Against all odds, Carl Froch had produced one of boxing's greatest last-round comebacks, turning near defeat into a legendary victory that would define his career for years to come.